I want to get rid of that heart in the middle of chat. It's not actually in the middle, but like it's blocking messages, and I've been ignoring it for this long, but it's just annoying and I don't like it. And the whole reason to move chat to that side and have this layout weird is because of that heart, because YouTube decided to add it in. Ugh. So like, I don't know, maybe the custom CSS that I use to make chat like this can also get rid of the heart eventually. Maybe I'll just check that. Like, I don't want to get rid of the reactions. I just want to get rid of the heart icon, you know? Because it blocks off messages, or at least I want it to be to the side, you know? I'll figure it out eventually. Anyway, welcome to BeepBox Radio, episode 55. We got some BB2.3 stuff to show today. It's been a while coming. In case anyone doesn't know, BB2.3 was a challenge for the Beep Bishop thing, a monthly series of different challenges every month that I host in the BeepBox Discord server, linked in the description of this channel. In this case, you had to use version 2.3 of BeepBox, which, as you can see, if I switch over here, oh, we've got the first song preloaded already, but it's pretty limited compared to what you might be useful. Let's say I want to go to just regular BeepBox. Like, we got like proper instruments there, and you can edit a whole bunch of wacko things, and like there's presets, and not in this. You had Shipper FM. You had a series of instruments like that. You had that many pulse waves. You had that many transitions. Completely different. And this is as many channels as you could have. It was wild. Anyway, I'll just get right into it. First off, I'll do it in order of submission, and then the last three will be like third place, second place, first place. For your information. Anyway, first off, this is the first submission we had, the early bird, VRC 2.3 by Masked Eternity. Let's see there. Wouldn't 4.3 be 3.4? Alright, I don't... Where's that coming from? So wouldn't 4.3 be 3.4 with more steps? I mean, a quarter note tied to a single note of a triplet counts as a third of a note, so technically it would be a third of a note. Because 4.3 doesn't have a denominator that's a power of 2, it would therefore not be a time signature that makes sense. It wouldn't be a normal, or I guess rational. It would be rational because it's still a rational number, but it's not a standard time signature, so it doesn't work in the traditional sense. It would make more sense to use in relation to something else, where you would have that a steady pulse, and then in relation to that, you wanted to have an amount of time which was equal to 4 triplet quarters, for example. So I guess you could do some like other weird tempo math or whatever for that if you wanted to make it more exact, but it's suffice to say, denominators and time signatures have to be powers of 2 because reasons. And when they're not, it mostly only makes sense in relation to a time signature that follows that rule. This isn't music theory radio, though. I can get into that later. Anyway, next song, or shoot, I called it a song. I hate doing that. Next track, next tune, next beep, Hydrochloric House by Speedcuber 9978. There's nothing here. Oh, that's because it's the one I just opened up. Here we go. Something to note about this earlier version of BeepBox 2, there's no song player. You can't see the menus, I was told, but the preferences are so much smaller. The edit menu is so much smaller. You can access this by going to beepbox.co/2_3/# and then it'll open up the 2.3 version. I believe it's also just linked underneath of vanilla BeepBox. Oh, of course. Yeah, those who yearn for simpler times, you can find 2.3 or 3.0.13, I guess. I forget what the difference is. Oh yeah, 3.0 had no effects. It was just the instrument presets and like better instrument design, but no actual effects yet. Pretty cool. Anyway, next song up is BB2.3 is Real by Fuzzy6. There you go. BB2.3 is real. And yeah, oscilloscope views are really cool. I hear they might be a thing coming to Ultra. Like that it's been mentioned so many times in the modded BeepBox channel. I wish I just did development for Ultra, because that would be such an easy way to give things to the community, you know? Just to try to implement things like an oscilloscope view or a stem exporter, so you don't have to solo things and export, then solo, then export. You can just export all the stems individually. That would be a lovely addition. Oh yeah, especially if you could like remove the limiter on all the stems, and this just gets me thinking about how I want a custom effects chain with different effects. Anyways, it was pretty sonic music. Some cheeky little FM use in there. Very lovely. Next track is going to be Signal Man 2A03 by Nintari Genesis. This illustrates a really interesting restriction of BB2.3 and like early versions of BeepBox that people had to get around. You could only have one instrument per channel, and oh yeah, I'll post the song list in BB Radio General in 1 second. But you could change the instruments between patterns. So you got things where you have pulse narrow on one, then pulse wide on the next, narrow wide, and like that's how you could do pulse width modulation in very old versions of BeepBox. You just have to change the instruments. We didn't have mod channels, we didn't have none of that. Pish posh posh pish. Let me get the song list up and then I will send it. Where are you? Episode 55, October 14, 2023. Right down there. There we are. All right, next up is going to be Tribute by Sopic. I wonder who it's a tribute to. People can guess pretty easily, but you know. Oh, there's a tiny little bit over here. And it's just a little note. Aw. I love when we had these notes here. Thanks again, Graves. Ah. And the thing about Blue was the name of Sopic or Soapy Chicken or blah 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 back in the day. Just a wonderful send back to such a cool part of BeepBox history, even if it was only like not even 5 years ago. Like it was 5 years ago and further, but just it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Next up is Sneaking into Area 51 by definitely not a what? I definitely not a hyphen sneaking into Area 51. That's the whole title. Definitely not a hyphen sneaking into Area 51. There we go. I did it. I solved it. Yeah, so just to be clear, Blue as in the axolotl is not Blue as in the old name for Soapy Chicken, the old name for soap. Different people. Also, these songs are made in BeepBox version 2.3, but they were made during the month of September, last month. All last month. So they are made using like modern sensibilities or whatever, but in this older version because challenge. Yeah, it's so wild hearing all these old sounds. It's nostalgic, which doesn't make sense because it's so recent, but it is. This is PKNY Pukni Dial. There you go. I don't want to say return to tradition, but there are some things here that I just really want to bring back, you know? Like these arpeggios here are just so cool. They sold them out, but actually I can do it by doing this. But oh shoot, Spiky custom. That's actually a really cool use for Spiky because what Spiky is basically a built-in root and fifth. So if you use custom harmony, then you get two different fifths to play around with. That's a really really cool way to have done it, because then it sounds like a more full chord. I can actually isolate those channels right now. Like it's like that sounds like, I think it's an octave up and an octave and a fifth up, because I'll just open up Ultra here and go to chip wave Spiky and open that in custom. Okay, I have to do it here this way. But yeah, it's 3 pulses, and then in a regular set of -1 amplitude, and neutral amplitude. So you get a note and then an octave and a fifth upwards, among other overtones. So you can kind of use that as a chordal instrument if you use custom harmony in older versions of BeepBox. I know I tried to do that once with the fifth harmony, and then I just had the third on its own. But this is like way before I learned much about music at all. Just still a really interesting technique. And there's also stuff like was it used in this one? I don't know. I love like the sound of a double pulse shimmer, you know? I don't think it was used here, but I can show that here, for example, chip wave double pulse, get that all regular. No, okay, I actually do want some filter. And then I'll just get rid of those. No reverb. Reverb is for chumps. And if I do unison type shimmer, like... And if I do this type of shape, then you get an accordion sound. Ah, shoot. Just, I love it, you know? It's such a good, it's classic. It's good. Anyway, I'm just going off on a tangent there. Next up, oh, it already had next up. Next up after dial is searching by unconventional. Now, do I do the chord scope view or do I do the song link? Because that was the thing I was trying to figure out, and then I got distracted. Chord scope or song link? I did not make We Are Number One. Also, they, them, please, not he, if possible. But if I wanted to make We Are Number One, it would be... Then... There we are, so it'll be 1, 2, 1, 2. Whatever, that's the second phrase. We Are Number One. Either way, no one said anything, so I'm just going to do the regular song view. And if you want to do the chord scope view, that is available. If you look at the results for BB2.3, you can just follow the link and get to it. I'm sorry I didn't start at the start for that one. I'm just gonna... You know what? No, that's not what I want. I want this one. Just for you, I'm gonna do both, actually. We get to see the oscilloscope view as well, but part of it's gonna be blocked off by my big head. Let's see, let's make the quality as high as possible, 720p 60. Let's go. Stealing content. Yeah, so Unconventional's done some wild stuff with things like that. I'm not sure how much is going to be on here. Oh, BB Plant was insane. Like, just check this stuff out. Unconventional does like wild wave shaping idiocy. It's fantastic. In any case, this isn't a video review stream or anything. This is BB Radio. And next up is Metal by Chromosomes. A Chromosome by Chromatic Aberration. Metal. That was really interesting. Like, that one sounds, compared to a lot of them, very classic, you know? But there's also this really interesting echoed FM instrument. And it kind of caught me off guard because, like, echo in 2.3, that's unheard of. But no, you could do it. I wasn't sure what was going on because the layering between channels 1, 5, and 6, very nice. But also the instrument design was just so classic. My tongue is not working right now because I was chewing on ice and it's too cold. In any case, I will say, it's never a bad thing to share the music you make. I encourage you to post whenever you can into finished beeps if you have finished stuff, or just to share it in unfinished. Like, you don't really get too much visible attention, but people still see your music, see your art, and it's nice to just add to the ecosystem, right? I also, maybe I'm a bit biased, but I encourage you to participate in the monthly bishops because they're a great way to like flex some muscles, get some work in making music you might not be comfortable with. Having just some limitations or some goals to strive towards always helps get the creative juices flowing, or at least helps you to better get them flowing in the future. Anyway, next up is Drowned in Your Own Madness by Hallow Kid. You know, it may not seem like it, but even back in 2.3, it was still possible to end a song in an empty loop. And in fact, it might even be said to be just as easy as back as today, if not easier, since there are fewer channels, and so you could just see it right there. I'm not being passive aggressive. I might be being. End your songs in empty loops, but not really. You don't actually have to, but maybe consider it. Makes it easier to listen to once and only once. But it kind of sucks if you have it there and you're editing the song in 2.3 because the playhead is weird. But when you're done the song, put the loop at the end. Maybe. Just maybe. Think about it. Real hard. I'm not actually mad, but just think, you know, consider. Everyone's been doing it. It's not just you. Like, all of them have had that. Like, right there, and 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 this empty one, and that also empty one. You know? Just all of them. It's not a you problem, it's a me problem. Alright, where were we? This one. This is Suspenseful by Evil George Washington. A short loop, and not the longest song that we've had for sure, but, you know. For posting your music, let's see, unfinished, yeah, Lead Phones has basically got it, but if it's not a finished song, put it in unfinished. If it's finished and you have a shortened link, put it in finished beeps. If you would like to talk about music that has already been posted in finished beeps, or you just want to talk about music techniques specific to BeepBox, go to Beep Talk. Sharing your music in Beep Talk, it's technically not really what it's meant to be for, but people treat it as that, and I'm always iffy on telling people to not do that. But do not share your music in music theory. That's not how that works. Don't do it. You're doing it wrong if you do that. Tips for new BeepBox users. Good question. I still need to make a series of introductory guides or whatever. I've been meaning to do that for a long time. But basically, if I had to give advice, find music you want to make, or like find people you want to mimic the style of, or better yet, join the community and like share your music. Because people know a lot of stuff about using this stupid tool. And a lot of musical knowledge outside of BeepBox can still apply here. Like, I can make a major chord. That's pretty useful to know how to do, you know? And it sounds so good, too. Isn't that great? That's so good. Yeah, it is also pretty good to like know how this program works. Because if I go to the main page for Ultrabox, let's say, hot dog, and I scroll down, there's like a bunch of shortcuts and like functionality here, right? And it kind of sucks if you're using the program and you manually move everything around by clicking instead of shifting it around with plus or minus or copying and pasting or things like that, you know? Just like there's a shortcut list, I believe. This is not Beachcombing. This is the Halloween theme by Mellow Yellow. Oh yeah, Mellow said Beachcombing. Funny. Okay, I need to catch up on chat, then I'm moving on to the next song. Poorly made covers are honestly like a good way to do it, because you're trying to mimic what other people have done. That's a great way to try to learn how to do art, doing what other people have already done, because then you can find a voice after that. Don't be hard. True. Do not expect yourself to write the soundtrack for a game the week you've picked up BeepBox, let alone if you haven't even done anything musical before that. Like, I've been doing music in general for like 10 years, I think. Maybe more if you count earlier things like my piano lessons or my guitar lessons, which I hated going to. But like, you're not going to be good at this start, but that's not a bad thing. No one starts doing something and is automatically good. The first time you made eggs, you probably broke the yolk and burned something, or like you didn't know how to crack an egg correctly. The first time you use BeepBox, you're gonna make something that's beginner core. You're just gonna be like, you're gonna be in where is it? Major pentatonic, and you're just going to do ba 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 ba, and then you're gonna do like some drums, which are just gonna be, And like this is gonna be your whole song. And like, sure, that's how you start. It's okay to be that way. Like a lot of people might be like, "Oh, this is bad. This sucks." But you start that way and then you get better. And that's the wonderful thing. You can learn. And people discredit that a lot, like getting better as an idea. Oh, you suck, you suck, your music's bad. Yeah, it's bad, and that's so you get better from being bad, you know. Anyway, practice. Don't get discouraged, even if it seems like you're not improving. Just the best thing to do is keep on doing music and like find something to work on. If you're just making music, then that can be fun. But if you're making music with a purpose, like you want to do this or you want to do that, that focus will help you get better in at least some ways, you know? I'm passionate about people learning music and not getting discouraged because music is my thing. I love music. Okay, next song. I'm done talking for now. Retribution by HoonTube. Yeah, that was fantastic. The main reason this didn't get into the top 3 is because it was 4th, actually. This is off by like zero point 0.3 points from the 3rd place winner. So, like, you're right. It would have gotten into the top 3 if not for the top 3. Next up is, oh, yo, I wrote this one. It's Oh, I Forgot to Think of a Name by Imposaurus. Yeah, I made that. And the stupidest thing about it is that I made it in like a day, day and a half. I always rush my bishop submissions. It's a bad habit. But I do love chip tunes. Anyway, next song is Gay Abundance by Jelly. man, Jelly with the bangers as always. Like, that could also be outro music. I don't know what it is. Jelly just makes good outro music. Anyway, we are now on to the top 3 songs. Third place is Time Well Wasted by Ski, which got a score of 8.77. I didn't unmute myself, how silly. Fantastic, I say. Exquisite, I say, to no one in particular, for I am muted. Next up, 10 Blue Pens by Trumpet Boy. I'm sad there's no BB2.3 in the noise channels. This is terrible. Anyway, that was 10 Blue Pens by Trumpet Boy, and next up, the winner of BB2.3, the one of the highest score, most votes for it, blah 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 blah, by Leadphones. It all comes back around. Was I muted for that? Was I really muted for that? Shut up. I hate myself and I hate life, and I wish for nothing but the penultimate destruction of the world upon which I currently live. Isn't that right, resident of the kitchen? They nodded at me. They didn't even want to speak. They know I'm live, and they know that their voice will be commemorated in the history documents as one of the harbingers of death to this world. See, the context is I was muted when I was introducing the next song, so like... Shut up. It all comes back around by Leadphones. The winner, all the score, yay. I think that deserves its first place spot, honestly. Just a little bit of an opinion there, you know? Anyway, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. And that was still made in the same program that all the other ones were, so like... Oh, it's not that the limitations cause anything to be worse, it's just that you need to know how to get around them. Anyway, that's the end of the BB2.3 showcase. Thanks to everyone who participated. The scores are already out. That's how I knew who was first, second, and third. And we already have BB Graveyard going on right now. Get on over there, or feel free to make a song that's all spooky, silly, or like all sad and depressed, and whatever you want, really. Work on your own, work with a team, do what you want. Just make a song that fits the prompt. No restrictions, just make it spooky. Maybe. It could be sad, it doesn't have to be spooky. It has to be like Graveyard, or Raveyard, or, you know, just do what you want, and people will tell you if you did it right when we're voting. Anyway, next up we have like 7 regular songs. That's a long title. This is originally by Koji Kondo and the Super Mario 3D World Big Band, arranged by Duckley. This is Super Mario 3D World's Bowser World Bowser fake bit arrangement. Is there a comment for this? I lied, no more Castlevania, have Big Turtle Core instead. Oh, so the comments are probably a bit out of order because I shuffled to make sure I don't have a bunch of one thing in a row. Anyway, music! I don't know. The mixing was kind of loud on that one. It's good. It's great, but it's a little bit still really good though. Love the arrangement, and the original's already really good. So that was Duckley's arrangement of World Bowser from Super Mario 3D World. Next up, another long title. This was remixed by Mass Eternity. Originally, it was by Koji Kondo and Mahito Yokota from Super Mario Galaxy. This is Star Chance, a remix. Ooh. I took a bite of my Arby's a bit too late into the song, and my mouth still has food in it. Wow. That was Star Chance Remix. All the stuff is in the title. I'm not saying it again. Next up, Obstruction by Mid the Composer. Oh, shoot, I forgot about the comments. For the last one, I love the calmer songs from the Super Mario Galaxy soundtrack. They're beautiful. Honestly, yeah, Super Mario Galaxy just has so much good music. I really wish I've played more Nintendo games, and like just Super Mario Galaxy I know is one of the really good ones. But Nintendo games at large, because I know a lot of the music is just so good. And I just haven't experienced it firsthand. It's always been secondhand through covers or just someone suggesting it, you know? But still, music is music, and it can be appreciated regardless. All our food keeps blowing up. Next up is Obstruction by Mid the Composer. Comment: I've been hitting peaks in every genre lately. Here is a song that I made from a very odd rhythm and chord progression. You ever take a bite of a sandwich? No, not even just take a bite. You like finish a sandwich. You're done. You're like chewing the last bite, right? And you look at the bottom of the bag it came in, and there's a sauce packet in there. And that sandwich, oh, that sandwich was real dry. And you wanted sauce, but there wasn't, you didn't want to go to the fridge to get any, so you just ate it dry. But there it is, staring at you from the bottom of the bag, mocking you for not having looked just a little bit harder. And you look at it, and it looks at you with its plastic gaze. And you pray that whatever deity above forgives you for what is to come. And you take the sauce packet, and you squirt it all directly into your mouth. The sandwich is basically gone by now. Just like the dregs remain. But you're sucking that sauce back. there's nothing stopping you. You need to make up for the dry. And whatever sinful action it takes will be the correct action for you. You ever do that? You ever squeeze the sauce directly into your mouth, sauce it up with nothing? I just did that. Anyway, that was Obstruction by Mid the Composer. Next up, we've got They're Never Coming Back by Oceans 0513. Oh geez, there's stuff on here. I cannot bear this. The weight of grief is that of mountains. May 13th, 2021, October 6th, 2023. Anyway, that's the song. Tonal shift. That's how I feel about the 95% of the sandwich that I already ate by the time I found the sauce packets. It's never coming back. No matter how many sauce packets I eat on their own, it's never going to bring back the unsauced sandwich. It's just going to be a lot of nothing. Nothing worth nothing. Who cares if you have sauce if you don't have anything for the sauce to go on, right? Anyway, They're Never Coming Back by Oceans 0513. Next up, Just Another Menu by Masked Eternity. Honestly, I just like the overall vibe. Insert thumbs up emoji. Here we are. There we are. Just another menu song, but not a menu song, just another menu. Just the menu itself. It's not a song. This is a menu right here. This is a menu. Just like the menu that was ordered off of to get me my... I'm not continuing that. Downpour by Mellow Yellow, inspired by the special days here in Nevada where we actually get rain. Hope it's not too repetitive. You know what? Just for you, I hate this song. I think also one of the samples didn't load called Morse or something, but I couldn't see it used in the song, so I just decided to go along with it. It doesn't seem to impact it. Ha, I didn't let you repeat. But yo, Lenny, check it out, check it out. It ended on the and of 4. It ended on the and of 4. Or that was 4, depending on how you're counting the tempo. But like, that's the thing, that's the thing we were talking about. You know? Also, my favorite part of this were the funny little bits, like, yeah, see, Morse didn't load. But like the funny little bits, where are they? I like these bits. I like these ones. These are good. I really like those. Thank you. Next song. Another long name, And also, geez, the last one already. Ending a half hour early. I mean, I could stay for a bit longer and do like a Q&A or something, or like write a song real quick. You know what? Tell me what you want me to do in the BB Radio General chat in the server. If you have questions, do questions. If you have things you want me to make a song with, do that. I won't make a... You know what? I'll make a thread, actually. Tell me in this thread what to do for the next half hour, thanks. And I will make the thread Wagag. All right, go to it. It's right there in BB Radio General. You know where that is, and if you don't, you're not in the server. This is Vampire Killer, arranged by Duck Lee yet again, originally by Kunio Yamashita and Satoe Terashima. I suck at names. I am in my Castlevania phase now. Oh, this was meant to play before the Super Mario 3D World one. Duckly moment. Duckly moment. Ooh, and this is Goldbox. I should unmute it first. That would be a good idea. That would be a good idea. There you go. That was Vampire Killer from Castlevania. All the original credits are up top. I will say, just as a general statement, I try not to give unrequested feedback, which includes just any regular song on radio, because sometimes people don't want feedback. Like, they give a song to radio just to, like, have it played. It might not even be theirs. And having me say, well, hey, so here are like 3 things notice that you could do better with the song. Here are some things I liked, but like criticism, that might not be welcome. So I try my best, just as the person presenting music, to be a neutral platform, or just to say things I liked about it. Because just, yeah, like a general thing that I tend to do is just like try to be decent. Try not to say things that might be hurtful or might not be wanted. Like, I could say here, oh, you need to do this, Y, and the other, but like, that's not the point of it. Anyway, that's just my general philosophy on feedback in general. Only give it when it's really asked for or when it's like expected. Anyway, let's check out that thread there. What is the best way to get into doing covers or even remixes? Also, that wasn't to put you on blast, Hello Kid. Just, you reminded me of it. Like, I try not to give bad feedback or like criticism in general. But how to get into doing covers and remixes? I would say, so long as you kind of know the program. Like, once you know the program, the limitation is then ear training, as in being able to actually hear what notes are happening and what chords and what rhythms and putting them down, as well as understanding style in a certain way. Like, I've done a cover of In Too Deep by Sum 41. And I'll just open up the core scope video for it. See, you should open it too so I get more views on my thing. But, like, this is not rock music. And it's silly, like, just look at the core scope view, it's so cool. It's so good! But actually, I'll open up the beat, because this is BeepBox stuff, blah, 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 blah. Made it in Goldbox. And all the notes are generally correct. Like, I heard the things, it was a simple song. But what made it my cover of it was that I made it in a VRC6 adjacent style. Like, I didn't try to make it sound like the original. That's a route that you can take. I took the notes because after a long time making music, I had the ear training. I could generally hear what notes are being played, hear what chords are being played, hear the melody. And I translated them into a style that I felt I wanted to do. In this case, it took me a long time to learn how to do this VRC6 type style. But it's like doing a style you're comfortable with makes translating it a lot easier. So it was a lot easier to do it in this case specifically because rock music has very few component parts. You've got the bass line here, doubled with the sawtooth. I should unmute that. And then I also had the chord instruments, which is the guitar being strummed, which I mimicked with an arpeggio channel, panned left and right, and you have the melody. Those three components, excluding the drums, that's just like, that's the song. And then percussion design, I made the kick, made a snare a while ago, cymbal sound, and noise channels. But I've kind of gotten off track here. But I guess if I had to summarize it and stop going off on a tangent, know the style you want to do, train your ears, like, get good. Like, listen to songs and try to sing along with them, and then try to sing along to, like, certain elements, or play it back on an instrument, or, like, just practice placing in the right notes. And maybe look at sheet music if you need to, or look at MIDIs if you have to. I hope that answered the question a little bit. And when will you get someone to prep radio for you? Never, because this is a solo thing, and I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I have a budget to ask someone to prep it for me. Does playing in a band or taking music lessons help in musical? Yes. I think I would not be where I am today, not least because of... I would not be where I am today if I didn't play in my school band. Like, I could have done everything normally, right? Like, I don't need to have been in that band. I didn't really do much that was demanding of me. Like, I can play clarinet. It won't come through because of noise suppression, but... Wow. It's... Oh, the reed is chipped. Oh, okay, I need to get a new reed. Was this one of my good reeds on here? Oh, no, that was one of my good reads, too! Dang it! Oh, well. Part of being in band is that you get real picky about instruments, I guess. But yeah, I think being in a musical ensemble of some kind is a really cool just thing to do, but it can also help your ear with, like, learning to listen to other people in a band, and when it comes to composing, learning how to write music that works with itself. All the parts work with each other instead of fighting to be heard, you know? Like, here, the chords are doing chord stuff. Like, this isn't a melody. You don't sing along to this, but that combined with the bass helps to support the melody. The melody on its own isn't that good. Like, it's great, but all together, like, that's just a big thing. Like, it's all blending together with itself, and being able to hear that blending and know when something needs to be a bit quieter or louder, that's also a good help for mixing when you have all the parts written and you need to balance them correctly. Being in a performance environment, you have to learn how to do that by ear and adjusting yourself to fit with a whole group, and that skill kind of moves along, like it gets transferred. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Ask for feedback, but see the songs on feedback on, not on this radio. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes do feedback on songs you send in the channel. I see some were sent. I see a lot of stuff was sent. I'll just get along with it in due time. Giving feedback to yourself, that sucks when you don't know how to do it. Because I used to, A, think my stuff was really good, but also B, think whenever I made something that was less than perfect in my eyes, it was complete trash. And that's not helpful feedback. And if someone came up to you and gave you that feedback, it wouldn't help you at all. But it takes a lot of time to be able to not only give other people good feedback, but give yourself good feedback. Let's see, do I have music that I can open up? Let me open up my everything sheet. Flashbang alert, by the way. So let's just open up the Boner Boys theme. It's a song that I haven't really finished. There's a little scrap here. something I hear just right away. The mixing needs to be fixed for one thing. Let us check here. The lead's a bit weird. I think the drums could use some EQ work. But, like, I'm not saying that, oh, this is the best thing ever, but I'm able to point to things that I'm aware of that need change. And feedback I'd give, like, it's a bit empty here, or like the drums feel kind of thin for this, but I'm not saying they're just bad. I'm thinking like, oh, I hear it as negative. Why don't I like it as much? And that's being able to not only hear something and think, oh, I don't like this, but beyond that, think, why don't you like it? Is a vital skill. It's so important to be able to explain why you feel things, not only just in life in general, but when you're thinking about art. Understanding where your opinions come from is so important, because otherwise you're just acting as some kind of biased observer, and you have no clue why you're biased or how you're biased, and you're basically not helping anyone. Let's see there. Honestly, though, yeah, I am often my own worst critic, because when I listen to a song, for example, let's do, I think I have Heart Attack 2019 bookmarked. It's a real old song. Like, when I listen to this, I just, like, I hear the ways that I kind of didn't really do my best work, or better yet, overdrive. I hate overdrive now. But look at how many channels there are. It's completely self-indulgent, but that's just something I know not to do now. Or if I turn up the volume, like, I hear how the bass is layered weird and the lead is kind of funky and the drums are done slightly wrong. And like, when I look over here, I can see how, oh, I did that to make a tom sound. Like, and I know that I did that. I'm in the process of making it. And I can see all the small things. And oh, I should change the title, actually, to Imp Shenanigans or something. Song missed. There we are. Live Imp Shenanigans. There we are. That's perfect. There we go. Oh, actually, I can just turn... Oh, that's not it. Imp Shenanigans. That won't change when I do octave stuff. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Alright. But especially when you're in the process of writing things, you hear things with a biased ear because you're in the weeds. Like, when you cook food, you know every spice you put into it, and you can taste them if you're, like, aware of that. You can taste, oh, I put a bit too much salt, oh, the margarine was a bit too heavy there, and I kind of burnt the onions. But if someone's just eating the dish on its own, or if you never cooked it at all, and you're just eating that and someone else made it, you wouldn't know all those details. You wouldn't be focusing on those. You'd be focusing on the gestalt, right? That's why being your own critic can be so hard, because you see so many details that no one else ever will. It's really hard to be in that zone, right? Let's see here. Oh yeah, critique crew, I hate that I leave that silent for so long, but it's oftentimes also just hard to give feedback to beginners or people that are like so far down the beginner rabbit hole that in a way, you're too experienced to help them, because the way that you understand things and give feedback is to someone at least close to your level. Not to be like pretentious or anything, but there are different levels of skill, and it's really hard to talk to someone who's just not at your level. You can't tell someone to like do a very fancy technique. Oh, you need to sidechain the bass and like take out the mids on the snare and make sure to blend things a bit better. That means nothing. They barely know what C major is. Okay, sometimes you can not know what C major is and still, you get the points, right? Let's see. Oh yeah, people giving like massive essays of feedback can also be really disheartening, which kind of sucks. All right. Just playing in a band. What's your favorite music listening format? Shut up, Lenny. Okay, I don't care for formats or whatever. I listen to music when I listen to music, and the most available place for music for me is streaming. I have an Apple Music subscription. I don't buy it, but I have it and I use it because I have like 11,000 songs in my library. I can listen to whatever I want. But I know that doesn't really support the artist, and I really care about supporting artists. I'm an artist. I know lots of artists. It's really cool when you can give artists money for their hard work. But streaming is easy for me. It's so much easier than carrying CDs or tapes, and you could never carry vinyls around with you. But yeah, streaming has a lot of issues. Let's see. How does one get into making original instruments? Mimicking other people. That's another thing. Like, you can always learn to do something by mimicking what someone else is doing. You can also learn to do something by just making random things. Not even joking. Randomize your instruments. I'm going to hit Shift R a few times and... Ooh, that's a weird instrument. I wonder why it sounds that weird. Well, let's take this down, for example, and just start with this one. Alright, so it's still kind of weird. Oh, there's chorus and there's distortion. And let's make that a bit higher so I can hear it better. There we are. Well, now let's bring this in. Ooh, that's real harsh. Oh, but that's a 16. Well, maybe because it's such a high number, like, and now, like, oh yeah, that's less harsh. And 4, that's less harsh still. And then I can kind of learn how these different things shape each other and bring these new sliders in and hear how they interact. And that's just for FM. But, like, if you just mess around with small, just do things once in a while. Like, take something that you already know works. Like, I'm going to take one of the instruments here, this one. Okay, that's a drum instrument. Maybe not. Yeah, sure, that bass instrument, I'm going to put it there. Well, that's like a bass sound. And like, I like that, but maybe I want to... Let's see what happens when I put chorus on it. Wow! And like, just messing around, and then you learn where you can get certain sounds, and then you can later access those sounds, because you've done them before. Especially if you make a sheet of instruments, which I've done, and I do not keep it updated. Where is it? Here it is. I have some instruments, and I don't use them, ever. Well, I really like this one, though. This is a really good... No, it's not that one, actually. It's this one. This is the one. I really like this sound. But yeah, the way I did that, I had a thing that sounded, oh, I kind of want, like, that would be good with chimes, so I recorded some MIDI of me smearing my hand down a keyboard, and used that. What was the question overall? Get into making original instruments. Yeah, it really is just a matter of learning the tools. FM is pretty funky. Like, it is one of the weirdest synths that you have access to in any form of beatbox right now, but there's the potential to get way weirder. It really is a matter of just getting familiar with the tools and learning, okay, well, I can make this sound and I can make that sound. That's a sound I want to make. Maybe I can replicate it in this way, or I can take someone else's instrument and bend it. I kind of don't really worry about instruments, mainly because I can plug something in real quick, and that's like, I'm just so good, and I'm so great and I can do it and whatever, but it's because I'm more familiar with the tool and I've been using it for years, and it just takes playing around to be able to do that, I think. Just using the tool lets you be more familiar with it. Whoa. Okay, there's a couple things that people want feedback on. Make a song with that right now. I already have made a song with it, actually. Would it be in my BeepBox collection? Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, it is. It's right at the end. Alright, so... This was made basically all with randomized instruments. just like took the sounds I liked and used them. And then if I move forward here, this is where those bells come in. And let's see, pretty intimidating thinking about how good people are manipulating BeepBox to make mind-blowing products. Honestly, yeah, I'm really lucky to have always basically been, like, I started off in 2016, and I basically shot right to the top of what people were doing right away. Somehow, I'm just naturally gifted, maybe. That's a joke. But I've been developing with the program, right? So to come into the program as it is today and see all these massive things. When I started with pre 2.3, all those songs from the start of the radio, I was before that was possible. Any of that. So my tools were so much more limited, and they got a little bit more complicated, a little bit more diverse, a little bit more fanciful as I progressed. And it's so hard to be dumped into a sandbox with a million different things to do at the end of the train and not have built up those million different tools. And that's one of the really hard parts about being in a developed musical environment. But that's also why I think focusing on goals is so important to do. Like, you can take people's instruments or use random ones, hi choo choo, or find other ways to limit your decision-making process. So you're not thinking of everything everywhere all at once, but do think about the movie. It's a really good movie. But don't obsess over every single detail. The best way to do it, I find, is to find ways to cut out decision-making. Have the decisions made for you. Like, use a preset scale, or use chords that you found online, or use someone else's instruments. And from there, you have the chance to be creative and be inventive from a point where you've already had a foundation built for you. And eventually, you'll be able to make those foundations yourself and like think a bit more critically. Yeah, that's the word, critically about them. I think that's my rant about how to get started making music. It's never a bad thing to use someone else's foundation and build from there. We all stand on the shoulders of giants. I did not invent anything in this song. Not really. I got my inspirations from somewhere. I didn't make the program. It gave me the instruments. I just tweaked them a bit. Like, I didn't invent the idea of using this funky scale. But it sure does sound pretty cool, right? That's my spiel. All right. Let's see there. I was asked for some feedback. So I'll do that, not super in depth. I'll give a little bit of time to each of them. Oh, you wanted me to do something with something. Let's see it. No, I will not make something with that, Lenny. Feedback on these. Okay, they are long. This is less long. Weird. Okay, that's what I thought. There was some weird tuning stuff going on. Is there other weird pitch shifty stuff? That's pulse width, that's pan. This is pulse width, this is pulse width. Alright. Yeah, that tritone is really discordant. This is really interesting, honestly. That was Masked Eternity. So I don't need to worry. One thing I'll say is that just looking visually, this seems to be all the same energy for a long time. And it does seem to go down right here, but something that can be important to notice is, important to think about rather, is the curve of energy in a song. Like, I'll just illustrate it right here. This isn't notes I'm placing, this is a graph. That's 0 energy, and then you go up to like a little bit of energy, then you go back down, and then you go way high up. Hi there, muting for a second. Anyway, what I was saying, graph of energy. Like, you go up, and then you down a little bit, and then you go way up, and like, whoa, that's the climax or whatever. But it doesn't have to be that short-sighted. Like, having an idea of where the song will develop is pretty good to, pretty good way to make sure that you have a plan for how a song will sound, instead of you just going, oh, this will sound good, this will sound good, this will sound good, which is a pretty good way to do it. But, you know, there's always ways to structure it more, make it seem to make more logical sense, I think. And just keep on listening a little bit. Ooh, like that bit. Yeah, like all the weird detuned stuff is really interesting. I think it really fits the vibe, honestly. Just of this like eerie forest type stuff. I like it. Time signatures don't line up with the bars. I don't like when that happens. But it can lead to interesting compositional choices. Wind is a bit loud there. I think it's a pretty nice atmosphere though. I think the melody, you could stand to have that stand out more, and let's see. Just bring those echoes all the way up. Let's do it. And I will pitch shift that up an octave. Pitch shift that up an octave. And even higher. Because like there's so much middle ground information here, to really stand out above it, you need to like ring out and have like a piercing sound, I think. That's one of the things that I would change about this one. And just as small little feedback there, make sure the things that are important are standing out properly. All right, feedback on this from mid. I can't do the whole thing. I'm not the biggest fan of the dubstep snare in that. Oh, and note filter. Interesting. One second, let me Anyway, yeah, I was just doing a little bit of EQ processing on there. If you put a hump at the resonant frequency of the snare and take out some of the mids, it can make it sound a little bit punchier. Also, if you add a peak around where the clicks would be, but this one has a lot of noise at this that'll amplify as well, so that doesn't really work as well in this case. But it seems that you basically already did that with this filter peak there and the twang. Nice. I don't really have much I can say without being focused in a bit more. Maybe because I'm just a little bit burnt out from music at the moment. Distortion kind of does the work for you. Oh yeah, I guess there's some distortion there. Nice. Or where was it? Where's the snare again? Oh yeah, I guess that kind of compresses the sound actually. The distortion. Cool, I didn't even realize. That's pretty good. Let's see there. I mean, I just tend to use the Sonor snare, honestly. With my... Oh, flashbang again. With this project here, if I just open up theme of Boss Battle, which I haven't touched in a long time, all this is using the built-in default drum samples. And it might not be the sound that you want, but with a little bit of processing, like... That's what I have. That's what the kick sounds like right now, but by default, it is actually... this type of sound. Like, isn't that quite a difference? Like, that's so much clickier, you know? EQ work can do a lot of work, as well as envelopes on the volume and stuff like that. Looks like we're a bit over the time. You know what? Give me feedback. Feedback on Downpour. Was that one of the ones? This one here. I gave you feedback. I like the bloopy bloopies. I'm going to call that the end of radio for now. I'm a bit feedbacked out. Time for See You Next Time by Jelly. Let's just change that up right here. Make that the right size. Here we are. See You Next Time by Jelly.
sandwich make me strong!